Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to the start of a new Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. This series is going to be a little different from any I've done previously. It's going to be a 3 versus 5 game, and I'm going to explain what that means as I go through the setup. But let's start with some of the basic parameters here. We're going to have the enemy AI set to Emperor difficulty, which is the highest difficulty setting possible. We're going to be playing on a large map size with 8 players, including myself and the AI. We're going to have the map type set to continents and the game flow set to normal. Let's take a quick look at the advanced settings as well. Now, we are going to have the starting town set as outpost, and everything else will be, medium and average, which is kind of the default setup. We're going to have the geography set as default as well. And then we're going to have the surface, the underground, and although you don't see it here, we are also going to have the Shadow Realm enabled. Now, the Shadow Realm is added by the Shadow Realm mod expansion pack that I have installed. And if you're interested at all in any of the mods that I have installed for this series or any of my previous series, please check the video description as I list them there. But just to highlight a few of the kind of larger mods that I do have installed, as I mentioned, the Shadow Realm mod expansion pack, I have the Wasteland mod expansion pack, and I also have Chivalrous Intentions. So we've got a lot of great mods that are adding a ton of really interesting content. All right, let's move on and get to the setup here. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a 3 versus 5 game. So we're going to have teams enabled, and we're going to have myself and 2 AI teammates, and we're going to have 5 enemy AI, all set to Emperor, all on the same team. Now, we are going to take our AI and demote them down to Lord difficulty settings so that they're really not going to be as helpful for me. And if anything, they're probably going to be more of a hindrance in that they're going to directly compete with me for access to resources and friendly villages to try to, make alliances with or take over. And so this is going to be a challenge. And I'm also giving myself the challenge of I have to protect my AI teammates. I did a very, very bad job of this in a previous series when I played, I believe, as a Goblin Rogue, and unfortunately I let my AI teammate die, and so I'm going to try my best to not let that happen this time, but I'm upping the difficulty setting by making it now that I have 2 teammates to protect, not just 1. Now, let's take a look at the advanced rules here, and as I didn't mention this, but we're going to have classic turns as we usually do. Now, for the advanced rules, everything's going to be fairly standard for the way I've played my previous series here. Game speed's going to be on normal. Starting resources will be standard. Starting skills will be few. Heroes will not have resurgence. The defender strength is going to be normal. Cosmic happenings will be medium. We're going to have allowable 4 heroes and a max level of 30. And all the settings on the right here are going to be enabled. Okay, now this brings us to selecting our leader and also selecting our teammates and our opponents. So, as you probably have guessed from the video title, I'm going to be playing as a Frostling Theocrat. And I'm going to be playing, as you see here, Falsor Frostscroll. So my hope is that as a Theocrat, some of the benefits that I get that will improve support units are going to be really useful for me as a Frostling, because the Frostling Tier 3 racial unit is actually a support unit in the Frostling Ice Queen. And so I'm thinking that there's going to be some good synergy there. And in addition, I haven't really played as a Theocrat since I believe my second ever Age of Wonders 3 series on the channel. So it's been quite a while since I've tried out the Theocrat, and I'm hoping I can improve on my performance from the last series. In addition, I haven't played Frostlings since I think my very first series where I played as a Frostling Necromancer, so I thought this would make sort of an overall great combo of a race and a class that I haven't featured for a while. And I'm also kind of, trying to get into the idea here of with my specializations, Keeper of the Peace Master, and then Adept of Cosmos. I'm kind of thinking that, Falsor is going to try to do his best to take care of his allies and, sort of be a really good a good leader and a good person. And so that's kind of the backstory there. But let's move on and choose our allies here. So I'm thinking that what I want to do is actually have 3 Frostlings, so myself and 2 Frostling teammates, just to kind of have it be a little bit interesting, and I'll explain why that'll be interesting in a minute here. But so let's choose some other Frostlings, and I think what I'll do is maybe go with a Frostling Warlord. So we will have Farnor of Clan Kaldur as our first ally. And you can see here he has Adept of Air, Master of Air, and Destruction Adept. So we'll choose him. And then our second ally, I think we are maybe going to go with a sorcerer. And we will go with, once again, a Frostling. So let's go with Icorian of Clan Marador. So our Icorian here is going to buck the trend of Frostlings being sort of cold associated ever so slightly, as he is a Adept of Fire with Wild Magic Master as well. And you can see based on his garb here, he's a little bit more focused, I guess, on the fire aspect, but that's kind of cool. So I think he'll go along with us nicely. All right, so now this is where things are going to get interesting. So let's choose our opponents. So what I'm thinking is we try to make this difficult for me. So one thing I want to do is I definitely want to have a Dreadnought, at least one Dreadnought opponent, because I think that's going to make things fairly difficult for me. And in order to make this even more difficult, I think we want to have Draconian, at least one Draconian, because again, they are more fire damage focused. And of course, as Frostlings, we're going to have that weakness to fire. So I'm thinking this is going to make things a little bit more challenging for me. And you know what? Let's go with Gravara of the Imperial as our Draconian Dreadnought opponent. She's going to be a tough customer, I think. Okay, so that's the first teammate, or excuse me, the first opponent that we're going to be up against. Next, let's do... So we've done a Dreadnought. I think now a Warlord would actually be a great choice. The question would be, what race should we choose? And you know what? This might be a good setup. Actually, oh, you know what? I'm going to change my mind on this one. Let's do a Theocrat, and let's do a Tigran. Because, again, they tend to have a lot of... they tend to have quite a bit of fire damage and fire-based effects as well. So I think it would be kind of cool to have... you know what? Let's go with Burma Rascratch here, who's a Shadowborn Adept. So this is going to be like our kind of our opposite Theocrat, who's a little more evil, and is also a Tigran, which I think is going to go nicely. So let's do that. We'll have a Tigran Theocrat as one of our opponents. We're going to change her color. Okay, so that's 2 out of the 5. So now let's kind of be selective here about what else we pick. I'm thinking maybe we also go with, let's see here. Maybe another Dreadnought actually would be kind of cool. And let's go with maybe, yeah, let's go with Edward Portsmouth, a human Dreadnought. I'm thinking that since they're human, they might be a little better in a map that's got more water on it. So that should kind of keep things interesting. So we'll add Edward Portsmouth here. And again, with Fire, Adept, and Master, we're going to probably be taking some extra fire damage from Edward here. Okay, so that leaves us 2 more spots. So we have ourselves 2 Dreadnoughts and a Theocrat. So now I think we probably want maybe a Warlord. And of the other races, now one thing I should mention, and this wasn't present in my last playthrough series, but in my most recent one that is, but there's actually a new race that has been added by the Wasteland Expansion pack, and that is the Lizardmen. Now, we got a taste of some of their units in my previous series as they were available via, I think you could gain them via dwellings and things like that, but, or maybe I shouldn't say dwellings, as a reward from clearing certain structures and then using mind control effects, which I think is how I got my hands on at least a few of them. But they are now a fully fledged playable race, and you can see they're kind of modeled using some of the draconian effects here, but they are distinct. And so you can see here, Lizardman excels in aquatic territories as they can cross water easily, and many of their brethren have adapted their savage style by hardening their scales until impenetrable. They created a deep bond between themselves to be aware of threats and increase in strength. Lizardmen thrive in most regions except for colder areas and in other parts that recently stand more threatening to society. So they like water and wetland, they dislike subterranean volcanic, and they hate the Arctic. So as much as it, might not, it would sort of seem like as a Frostling I would have an advantage over them, I'm thinking that since this is a aquatic-based map with the continents, there's going to be a lot more water. I mean, it's not island, but there's going to be more water. It might be kind of cool to have a Lizardman, and I'm thinking a Warlord would be a good choice for them. So let's do a Lizardman Warlord here. We're going to have Zlasor, Origin of Sobek, and he's going to have Adept of Water, Creation Adept, and Expander. So we'll see how that works out. And then I think for our last opponent, we're going to choose probably a Nomad, perhaps. So the Nomads are, again, a variant of humanity that is, been living in the harsh conditions, sort of in the desert, I think. And so they are, condemned to live in the wasteland. And so again, they have some fire damage kind of and related things that they can use. So I think that will make things tricky for us. Now, in terms of a class here, let's see. So we do already have one warlord. Maybe we go with another sorcerer or actually a sorcerer, because we have a sorcerer on our team, but we don't have one on the enemy team. I suppose the other option, if we don't go nomad, would be to just go with another draconian. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind that. Maybe we just go with another draconian here now that I think about it. And, ooh, you know what? A draconian rogue could be pretty nasty, especially with fire, adept, and master. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a rogue draconian here. That's going to be tricky. So I teased the nomad, but we will end up going with a draconian here. All right, perfect. So that's kind of the game set up and choosing our opponents. Now, while the world is generating, as I mentioned, my game plan for this one is to, again, have to really protect my allies because I do not want them to die. I felt terrible when I lost my ally in that previous series, as I mentioned, when I was playing as the Goblin. And I'm going to try to make sure I don't make that mistake again. But it is going to be very challenging given that, I have two allies that I have to protect now. And in addition, I also have to, figure out how to defend myself and also make progress on attacking my opponents. So I'm going to be stretched pretty thin. And as a Keeper of the Peace Master, I'm going to definitely try to make alliances with as many villages that are around me, other dwellings and cities, in order to, try to reap that benefit. So that's going to be a strategy as well. I'm going to have to go for that good alignment. Okay. Falsor Frostscroll, Frostling Theocrat, your rise to power begins. All right, let's check out our start here. So it looks like we're in the corner, and here you can see, so this is Farnor of Clan Kaldur, who is the Frostling Warlord ally. And then over here is the Sorcerer, Icorian of Clan Marador. So it's kind of unfortunate. It would have been better had I been out here and my allies more in the corner, as that would have made it easier to protect them. But as it stands now, it's actually going to be kind of tricky for me. But you know what? That just ups the challenge that much more. So let's take a look at what units we started with here. Okay, we've got a Frostling Whaler, who's a irregular unit. Looks like he's got Throw Harpoon, First Strike, Polearm, Monster Slayer, and Fishing. I believe this is a unit added by Chivalrous Intentions, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I think that's the case. Does have frost weapons. And then we've got a Harpoon Thrower, a Bowyer, a Glavesman, and a Hordsman. Unfortunately, we really didn't start with very many units that are... We only have a single tier 2 in our main stack, so kind of poor luck there. That's really not ideal. Let's see what kind of heroes offering to join us. A level 1 rogue would like to join us. Let's check out the talents here. Does have Gorilla. Not that that's going to really make that big a difference for us. But you know what? I will take a rogue. If nothing else, it will give me another mechanism to, convert units. I think you get Charm with the rogue, if I remember correctly. And I think there's also some avenues for poison damage and things like that. So, not the worst thing ever. All right, so, boy, this is going to be tricky here. Let's take one of our units as a scout, and we'll have to decide which one. I'm thinking maybe the Hordsman. Let's take a look. Although the Hordsman does have projectile resistance and a shield, so maybe... Well, let's see. The Bowyer is kind of just a standard archer. Has shoot bow. Fairly basic archer unit there. Trying to decide which one I want to send. The Glavesman does have martial arts. Wow, okay, that's actually not bad. And is a pikeman with polearm, pike square, first strike. So that's pretty good as well. Actually, for tier 1s, these aren't bad. Maybe we'll take the Harpoon Thrower then as our scout and send him over to grab the Cartographer's Tent. Okay, and there we go. There's our first ally, and unfortunately, or our first neighboring city, I should say. And unfortunately here you can see it's across the water, which is going to make it very tricky to get there, especially since we currently don't have any means to actually get into the water. So, yikes, this could be a bit nasty for us, actually, all things considered here. Okay, so we definitely want to clear out this mana node, but you can see here we've got a, look at this, a Goblin Node Tribal. This is a unit I've never encountered before. It has Throw Stones, Whole Arm, Inflict Brain Rot. It's considered an irregular unit. Okay. That's kind of an interesting one. Yikes. We're going to have to make sure this unit doesn't hit our hero, as it'll suck away all our casting points. Speaking of casting points, let's take a look at our spells here. But first, we'll double check our objectives here. So, protect your leader in Throne City, of course. Allied victory. And then defeat all rival empires. All right, let's take a look. So we've got Mark of the Heretic as our starting strategic spell. And then our hero currently has Blind as a combat spell. For upgrades here, yeah, we have just our standard that we're starting with. So let's see what our first research choice is. Now, we're definitely going to want to get basic seafaring very early, because that's going to be necessary for us to really explore and get out into the water. That said, you know what? I think I might summon a cherub and get that first. If I can summon the cherub could actually fly across the water and get over there and make contact. So let's start off with... Whoops. Let's actually start with summon the cherub. I think that's going to be the most useful. And then after that, we can grab the basic seafaring as well. Alright, so let's maybe group up and see if we can attack this mana node for some extra experience here and to kind of get things started. So, we're going to take our main stack over. Boy, this wetlands is kind of annoying. That's going to take a lot of our movement, unfortunately. You know, maybe it'd be worth doing a little bit of scouting before we commit to that. Maybe we'll send this little guy down at least a little bit. What I'm thinking is we probably want to grab this and then the farm. There's also a gold mine down there, so that might be worth grabbing as well. City's going to grow in 8 turns, so it's a little bit there. This won't be in our domain just yet. So maybe we actually go north, grab the farm, swoop down, grab the mana node, and then head over to grab the gold mine there. Well, one thing we could do, I suppose, is scout north ever so slightly. Looks like it's mostly mountainous here. Alright, we'll send this guy into the woods here to get into the battle. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to do. We'll go up here. We will engage the battle with Falsor here. Alright. So this is our first battle of the series. So again, we want to make sure we prioritize getting our heroes some experience if possible. So let's see, we've got Civic Guard and a Sun Guard. That Sun Guard's going to be dangerous. We're going to have to watch out for that. We can use our heroes relatively aggressively here. I think we should be fine. Let's see if they decide to press up on us here. Okay, they are not. So, it's too bad we don't have like a big beefy melee unit who can kind of take some of the punishment for us. But let's see, maybe we can put ourselves in a position where... Yeah, let's get our hordemen maybe right like this. And then let's see if they're... Oh, and I forgot about our Mammoth Rider over here, actually. Well, there's my big beefy unit that I need. Right there. Let's see if we can draw them into attacking us. Oh, they're going to make us come to them, are they? Alright. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, we're going to step up ever so slightly. And then we can attack the Civic Guard for some pretty reasonable damage here. Minimum of 4, maximum of 6. Yeah, that's better, so we're going to do that. Again, we really just want to kind of entice them into attacking us. That's really the big thing here. And I think we're actually going to take our Mammoth Rider and head over like this. Try and get that charge in. Yeah, this guy's going to... The Hordesman's going to take some damage, that's for sure. We want to make sure we're in a position where we can try to help. Bowyer we can actually get right up behind here. Well, we could even step in one. Do a little bit more damage. There we go. All right. Ouch. Okay, that worked out pretty well, actually, all things considered. Fortunately, my Mammoth Rider can't quite really get in there to do much. But between the rest of our units, I think we're going to be able to do some pretty hefty damage. So, all right. Rogue can blast... Ooh, wow. Can blast the Civic Guard for some heavy damage. We do need to work on this Sun Guard, though, because we really need to help out our beleaguered Hordsmen there. All right, but let's see if maybe we can do something about what's going on over here. So the Glavesmen can get in behind and do some flank damage on this guy here. So let's do that. Nice, big damage. Really good. The Whaler... Let's see, what kind of melee damage? The Whaler can actually do a fair bit of melee damage. Unfortunately, this won't get the kill unless it gets the perfect high roll, so that's no good. However, one thing we could do is use Falsor here to blast and kill this Civic Guard. Perfect. And then if we step in behind, I think we might do enough damage to actually maybe get the kill or at least be very close to getting the kill. Perfect. Okay. Now it's just this unit, the Sun Guard, that's left. So let's see. We can blast for some big damage here. I say big damage, relatively big damage. All right, so here we do a maximum of or a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 7 versus, okay, the same here. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Yeah, and I think everybody else has already moved. Fortunately, our Mammoth can't quite get in there to do anything. So let's see. We will just shoot some darts, soften them up a little bit, and then you know what? We can just attack here and get the kill. Perfect. So thankfully, no one died, and we got some experience, which is what we need. And a Tiger, yeah, we'll definitely take that. Be nice even just to have the extra ability to explore here. And look at that. There's a refugee camp. We can set the Tiger up to grab that and improve our city population a little bit. While the Tiger's up here, let's see what else we can see. Okay, so there's a gold mine, fire node, and another gold mine there. So we're going to want to raid that. And then we can send the Tiger over here to grab that mana node as well, or the mana crystals, I should say. Now the question is, do we want to maybe just head up and clear all this while we're in the area, or do we want perhaps to head back down this way, go for the mana node and the gold mine down here? That is a bit of a question. We also need to find, there's probably going to be a spawning structure for, you know, bandits or something like that, or undead that we need to get rid of around our throne. Kind of liking the idea of going up here. My only hesitation is that we're not going to be able to actually get over and deal with this city anytime soon. But I wonder if we can... Also, this forest is going to kind of slow us down a little bit. You know what? I don't hate this, though. Let's go up. We can clear this out and then loop back around this way and clear things out down there, since we're already kind of up here anyway. So that's going to be the game plan, is head this way. There we go. All right, and now for production, we'll start off with a builder's hall to try to improve our production capability. Yeah, and that's going to do it for our main stack. Fortunately, we can't cast or really summon anything. So I think what we'll do is we'll just end our turn there. Looks like our ally won a battle. Hopefully it wasn't too costly for him. Same for our sorcerer ally. Now, it's possible that one of those draconian leaders spawned in the Shadow Realm, so that's something we're going to have to consider. That's always a possibility. Could get kind of tricky. Especially, he's going to be in the Shadow Realm, basically unimpeded and without any competing opponent in there to kind of fight with. So If one of the Draconians is in the Shadow Realm, that's going to make things very challenging. He'll be able to grow kind of without any challenge, per se. Okay. So that does it for the turn flipping over. Let's take a look. Ooh, unfortunately... Oh, yikes. Our ally lost his Tier 2 Mammoth Rider. Thankfully, he did clear out some bandits, it looks like. Meanwhile, over here, lost a Glavesman, but again, cleared out the bandits. So that's great. At least cleared out the spawning structures that are threatening the city. So good for them in that regard. Meanwhile, down here, okay, looks like we got a dungeon. Let's grab that gold while we're here. Ooh, very cool. Look at this. A Lizardman Rider. Oh, that's neat. Those things look really cool. Wow, I really like the design of these guys. Very, very cool. Parry. Unit has +2 defense against the enemy's first strike against it. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that before. I like that one. And then we got Lizardman Renegades, who are just their standard infantry, it looks like. Alright, so let's keep moving north, as I mentioned here. We're going to take our main stack over like this. And you know what? We can engage the battle with the Mammoth Rider. Looks like we're up against a Spitting Spider, Kobold Geomancer, and a Goblin Marauder. We should be fine. Ooh, ouch, that acid spit hurts. And of course it does some fire damage, so we're going to have to be very careful. Probably want to take on that Spitting Spider first if we can. Or take it out, I should say. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to be a better choice, so we can do that to soften them up a little bit. Very nice. You know what? We can follow that up with some blasting right here. You know what? I wouldn't mind parking the Glavesman here just to protect Falsor. He's going to step up and do a bit of work. Be nice if he could get the kill, but unfortunately I just don't think that's going to be the case. Yeah, can only do enough to weaken them down. It's not going to be enough to get the finish. Although, perhaps we can improve our odds a little bit. Unfortunately, our Bowyer's over there. Yeah, we could move our Whaler up like this. I'm just a little worried about the Whaler getting into melee combat then with multiple opponents there. Yeah, and right here, not going to be able to... Oh, nice, we can hit. It's just not going to do enough damage. Oh, nice. Okay, we at least immobilized them, so that's helpful, if nothing else. You know, actually, one thing we could do, I suppose, is step Falsor up, just get the kill like that, and then send our Tiger over to engage the Geomancer here. Very nice. Step our Glavesman up. And our Bowyer as well. Along with our Hordeman. Yeah, getting a little aggressive here. I like that. Okay. Let's see what happens. Ouch, that Tiger taking some punishment. Thankfully, still alive. Okay, let's see if we can farm some more experience here for our leaders. Or our leader and our hero, I should say. Ooh, yeah, Devastating Charge. That's going to be pretty nasty. Let's soften him up a little bit here with Throw. Perfect. And then we can get the finish with our blasting here. Excellent. Okay, now our Rogue can step on up and help out the Tiger, who's in really rough shape. Let's see, what would do more damage? 5 to 7 or... minimum of 8. Yeah, this is going to be better, so we'll do that. Very nice. Now, the Glavesman can actually get in behind there, it looks like. Unfortunately, our Mammoth Rider's out of range. Bowyer can get in there as well. Oh, yeah, let's get right in behind and do some flanking. Nice. Very nice. And then our Bowyer can attack and get the flank or our Tiger, but I think it might be better for our Tiger to actually Well, you know what? Let's just try it with the bowyer. Okay, didn't quite, but we can get the finish now with the tiger. Perfect. Okay, excellent. That clears that out. Some extra gold, always good. All right, and then our main stack, sadly, is out of movement, really. Or mostly out of movement, I should say. We will move up like this. Oh, and we can't quite make contact there. That's a shame. We will have to wait till our cherub is summoned before we can get over there, it looks like. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm glad we went north. Here is a spawning structure, a brigand hideout. That's going to be a problem. So we definitely want to get over there and deal with that. Grab those mana crystals, and then our tiger can head down this way. Maybe we can check out what's in the woods over there. As for our mammoth rider, could probably just sit where he is and wait for our main stack to catch up. So that'll do it for our turn. All right, so our allies are continuing to fight and expand, it looks like. Let's see, when is our city going to grow? 4 turns, okay. Yeah, we definitely need to make contact here and try to expedite that process as quickly as possible. We also want to kill off these brigands, so I'm actually, like I said, really glad we went north. But let's head over here. We can clear out this since we're in the area. All right. Ooh, and this is going to be tricky. We've got 3 Draconian Flamers. That's going to be very unpleasant. And Immolation. Oh my god. Yeah, this is actually going to... This is a really dangerous fight for me now that I think about it. Yikes. All right, well... We can devastating charge our way right in here like this. Nice, and we got the critical and the kill there. We desperately needed that. Because otherwise our mammoth might have been in trouble from follow-up attacks due to these flamers here. So let's get in there. Nice, okay. We can really put the hurt on them. Nice, and there's the kill. That's great. Okay, and then we can just charge right in with our... heroes here, I think. I don't think we have to really play it safe with them. There we go. Slavesmen and the Hordemen can step up. Alright, that should do it. Now we're going to take a firebomb right here, I'm guessing. Ouch! Oh my god. The bowyer almost died. That was devastating. You can see just how much damage they do. Yikes. That's pretty scary. Okay, let's just get the finish here with our leader, Falsor. Perfect. Boy, it'd be nice to get healing with our Theocrat as soon as possible. All right, there's some extra mana. And then let's head over and clear out the gold mine here, guarded by Lizardman Circle Thrower, Lizardman Renegade, and a Lizardman Chameleon. Alright, head over like this. You know what, we can even engage the battle directly with our Mammoth Rider here. Alright, this is going to be a tricky battle here. The Lizardman Chameleon has Hydroblast. I guess it's kind of like a shotgun. Yeah, okay, it's like a firebomb kind of thing. All right, so this is kind of like the equivalent of a Draconian Flamer. The Circle Thrower throws circle at target enemy unit that on impact will bounce up to 3 additional enemy targets, so that's kind of scary. And then the Renegade has Rampage. Ooh, cause this unit to prepare in a defensible position before it goes uncontrollable. Yikes, and it gets a huge buff to its defense, movement, health, morale, and does double critical damage. but it doesn't obey orders. Okay, so it'll just charge in and go rampant on melee. So a few of our units are in really rough shape, like our Whaler and our Bowyer, so they're going to have to stay out of it. We're going to have to use our Mammoth Rider, I think, here, as well as our heroes. And our Glavesman's going to have to really get involved as well. We'll move up with our Glavesman. What I might do is actually use Blind here. So this would be really good to throw on the Lizard Man, actually, I think. Either the Circle Thrower, or excuse me, the Chameleon or the Circle Thrower. I'm thinking maybe onto the Chameleon. But that Circle Thrower thing could be pretty nasty too. So you know what? I think I'll do that. Nice, that's great. Okay, that's going to make things a little bit better for me, I hope. And then Falsor can step up, maybe like that. I don't want him getting too far in there, to be perfectly honest. Hordeman can kind of charge in. Bowyer's just going to run back, as is our Whaler. I do need to be kind of careful. I don't want to get too far in there, so I think I'll just hang back. All right, let's see what happens next. I'm really glad I got that blinded. Okay, there's that Hydroblast. Okay, thankfully now they've stepped up a little further so we can actually get in there and engage them, which is going to be very helpful. We could try and get a devastating charge, perhaps. But it'd be nice to reinforce the Mammoth Rider. I don't want to lose the Rider, which could happen if I get too aggressive here. All right, our Glavesman, like I said, could really get in there and do some good work. So maybe we try that. Kind of like this. Nice. All right, and then Falsor would step up to provide some backup here. Either against the Chameleon or against the Circle Thrower. If I were to step back, yeah, there's a devastating charge. It's pretty nasty. Let's try that. We might even be able to get the kill here. Like, what I mean is a kill with the combination of attacks here. So then maybe my Rogue can ride up. This is going to do a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 6. So that's a better attack. Nice. And then can we get the finish here? Ooh, not quite. It'll be close. Oh, nice. We got a good roll. Okay, that made things better. All right, the Hordeman can step up. Okay, let's see what happens next here. Oh boy, they're rampaging. Yikes. Well, that's pretty scary. So now they're a really nasty unit we have to deal with. Okay, let's see if perhaps we can try for the flank maybe on them. Oh boy. Yeah, this is really not good. All right, let's see if we step up like this. That's flanking. Okay, we can turn them. Excellent. Okay, and then you know what? With the backstab, we'll be fine. Our Rogue can get in there and do some good work. So let's just do that, I think. Perfect. Oh, yeah, that backstab coming in handy. Nice. We did get a promotion for our Glavesman there. And our hero must be extremely close. Let's see, or our leader, I should say. Yeah, he's at 48, so very soon he will be at level 2, which is exactly what we need. Alright, and our Mammoth Rider can charge down. And this little guy can maybe do some more exploring over in this direction here. Okay, looks like we have some volcanic terrain, which our units do not like very much. Our Frostlings, that is. We can head into the forest here and grab some more mana. We're going to need it, especially once we start summoning cherubs. Nice. Okay, there's an ancient ruin there. That's going to be helpful. Clear that out eventually. And I think the tiger can just hang out right there. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for our turn. We really can't do much else until we have the ability to summon those cherubs. Okay, looks like we've met the village of Winter Blossom. I'm assuming that's a village that we've met, yeah, by one of our allies here. Okay. We might be able to steal it because we are going to have an advantage due to being a keeper of the peace. So that's definitely something I'm going to try to do. Even though that might kind of hurt my allies, I think it's going to be actually important because I need my allies. I don't need them stealing any of my revenue. So if I'm able to poach off of them a little bit, that'll just make me stronger, and I can hopefully do a better job of protecting them. So let's see. We meet the village. Ooh, I could pay them to sign that peace treaty. The question is it worth it? That's a lot of gold, especially this early in the game. That's kind of a tough call. We are going to make contact. As soon as I summon this cherub, I'm going to fly the cherub over and make contact there. Yikes. You know what? It does get me some alignment, even though it's really expensive. Let's give it a shot. Okay. They can become a vassal in 3 turns, so hopefully that's faster than our ally here. That is a lot of gold to spend this early, though. Okay. Let's see. We can take on the spawning structure here, and hopefully we can clear it out and protect our city from, early game harassment when these units spawn. Alright, so let's see. What are our opponents here? We got a Dwarf Ruffian who has a Flashbang, Defensive Strike. That Flashbang could be bad for our archers. Ooh, the Draconian Cutthroat has Fire Spit. That we got to really watch out for. That's going to do a lot of damage. Then the Lizardman Scoundrel is fairly standard. Okay. So maybe we will charge our Mammoth Rider up. Again, this might be one of those situations where using blind isn't the worst idea. Might be good to throw on the Cutthroat just because of that. Yeah, just because of that Fire Spit being pretty nasty for us. We're not going to be able to kill that obstacle very easily, sadly. Alright, the Hordeman move up. Our Bowyer is in really bad shape. Our Glavesman's not doing so hot either, so we might want to keep him kind of back. Our Whaler's alright, but not amazing. Yeah, we're going to move our heroes up a little bit. I think we'll end it there, though. Let's see what they do. Okay, they're moving over. They're engaging my Mammoth Rider, which is good. Okay. Oh, and the Hordeman got crippled, didn't he? Yeah, that's too bad. Really cuts into his movement capability. Okay, we'll move up. The Mammoth Rider can just break down the gate here. Perfect. Alright, so now at least they're in range where we're able to hit him with some attacks here. Nice, we hit him with some harpoon damage. Not a ton, but enough to soften him up at least a little. There's a little more. Glavesman, I guess, can get in there. Let's see. 1 to 2 versus a guaranteed 2, so we'll do that. Nice, we got them bleeding. That's going to help. Alright, we'll send our Glavesman in. We have to be careful. We really don't want to lose the Glavesman. And we'll keep our Bowyer back. Oh, that Fire Spit. Jeez, that does a lot of damage. We really got to be careful there. Okay, now they've basically moved out where we're able to just kill them here pretty easily, so... our Glavesman could get in there and flank them to death, which I like that idea. We did get a level up with our Theocrat, which is exactly what we needed, so let's do that. There's a nice kill. All right, now we really got to help out our beleaguered Mammoth Rider, who's in pretty tough over there. So let's see. We can't, unfortunately, we can't easily get through. Well, you know what we could do is we could break the obstacle. Let's do that. There we go. And then, oh, nice. Look at this. Okay. Our rogue can get in there and hit him for some damage. Theocrat can do the same. Let's see, what kind of damage can we do? Minimum of 6, maximum of 10. Yeah, I like that. We'll do that. Pretty good. And then do the same thing over here. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. And then, you know what? We can also get our Whaler in there and try to immobilize these guys. Oh, nice. We got the critical and the kill. That's perfect. You know what? Let's park our Mammoth Rider in defense just to minimize the damage we might take here. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, the flashbang we can handle. Actually, both our heroes are now, or our leader and our hero are now level 2, which is great. And then, you know what? Let's swoop around behind here for the kill. Yeah, there we go. Flanking and charge. Perfect. Nice. That's always a tricky battle because you have to deal with the little wall there around the compound. But we got the level ups we needed with our heroes, and nobody's dead. Oh, nice. We're going to get a High Elf Glade Runner and a Locket of Lost Love that provides strong will and spirit protection. So you know what? I will take that. And I think I will just send that over to... I guess I'll give it to Falsor. It doesn't really matter who it goes to. Yeah, right now he doesn't have any spirit protection, so he does have mind control immunity, so maybe giving it to the rogue wouldn't be so bad, but... Alright, let's do our level ups here. First things first, with Falsor, we're going to do Bestow Iron Heart just for the healing capability, so that's huge. Now we can actually heal our units. And then with our rogue... probably do some upgrades that are going to benefit the squad itself. So like Dirty Half Dozen, where you get Devout Slayer. Wouldn't be bad. Infiltration Squad, they all get wall climbing. Pretty good. Fortunately, Armor Piercing is not for the squad. Cloak and Dagger means more casting points. Rogue has access to some half-decent spells as well. Actually, Quick Dash isn't bad as it gives you a healing capability there using your casting points. That's not a bad option. But I think maybe I'll go Dirty Half Dozen just to... I mean, again, we're not going to be fighting that many Devout units, I don't think, but... Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, that's actually probably not that useful. You know what? Let's do Quick Dash, then we have more healing capability with the Rogue. Yeah, I kind of talked myself into that one. Alright. So we've done all the things we needed to do up here, it looks like. Let's double check with our Tiger. Okay, so that we've kind of explored the northern part of our little island that we're on here. I suppose we could swoop over and try to grab this watchtower, but yeah, there's a lot to the south, so I'm thinking maybe it might be better to... because this will take quite a while to get all the way over there, so maybe we just head down south and we go for the gold mine and everything, and we swoop back as well. We don't want to forget about this mana node. That's going to be helpful, as it will be in our domain soon, actually. Now, here's that Glade Runner. Let's see. Now, the Glade Runner can easily get through the woods, which is going to help a little bit. Maybe we could do some more scouting there. Let's kind of run back around. Also, it's about to be turn 5, so we probably want to get somebody back on our throne city. Even though we've cleared out the spawning structure, there could be others that we can't see. So that would be smart. We are working on our Cherub. We can do a new research choice here. Let's see, we've got Magic Barrier. This is an Empire upgrade. This is one of our Adept of Cosmos upgrades. Infuse shields with magical protection to make shielded units tougher. Units with shield gain magic shield that increases +2 resistance bonus against non-flanking attacks. Units with sun shield and water shield are not affected. Well, that's actually a really great upgrade, and it's nice to have at the Cosmos, or excuse me, at the Adept level. Really like that one. Paid Absolution. Target city owned by the caster generates an additional +10 gold. Caster's units gain +200 morale within the enchanted city's domain. Now that's a really good one as well. Definitely want to get my hands on that when I can. Beacon of Faith. Target friendly city gains a 100 population growth bonus. That's always good. I think, though, we really got to go with basic seafaring just because there's so much water on this map. So let's grab that. We'll get this out of the way. And then we can start focusing on the other upgrades there. In the meantime, let's keep exploring as much as we can over here. Right, okay, here's some... Ooh, look at that. Wraith King. Yikes, that's pretty scary. Haunted Boneyard. We definitely need to get rid of that. And that might actually be spawning units here this turn because it's about to be turn 5. So we will have to be careful. You know what? We might even start retreating this scout back. Might be too late for him, though, but he did do a good job of scouting that area out. All right, we're going to end it there. Let's hope that those undead don't spawn and kill my poor scout. So the other big thing we have to do, we have to make sure we get some armies over to my allies, which is going to be a tall order. I mean, I can summon a few cherubs over there, I guess, but really, like, yeah, there's water separating us, so it might be a bit before I'm able to get over there. Looks like my allies are connected, like they are on a set of, continuous land. Okay, we did have an item arrive. The Locket of Lost Love. You know what? I am going to drop this, and I'm going to pick it up with my rogue. And the reason just is because that way I also have mind control immunity now, which I already do have with my leader. So, okay, the tiger over here, probably just maybe head back sort of towards the throne city. The Glade Runner can go check out down here. Okay, that is a dead end there, so that's good to know. There is a corrupted farm here. All right, so let's head down. Can we make it to the mana node? Not quite. Oh, and shoot, you know what? I shouldn't have moved. I should have summoned my cherub before I moved. That's unfortunate. But, you know what? I can, I think, still get in there, so... There we go. We've made contact. Ugh, they need 59 gold. All right, sure. Sign our borders. Yeah, we'll open our borders and sign the peace treaty, sure. Yeah, we need some vassals here, so... The only problem is gold is going to become an issue. And now that we have a cherub, we can do some more aggressive scouting. Here's a necromantic circle. That's going to need to be dealt with soon, because that's going to start pumping out lost souls who are going to threaten my throne city. That's going to be extremely annoying. Okay, thankfully this little guy is actually still alive. So you know what? Let's head down here. See what else we can find. Okay. I think we will back him up there. Oh, I almost forgot about our Mammoth Rider here. We can head down to the throne city. And then let's start working on another cherub. I think they're going to be very useful for me, especially with all of the water that's on this map. I think the cherubs are going to be very useful because they can fly. Alright, we're going to end our turn there. Okay. So the next order of business, as I said, is clearing out the mana node and then probably heading over here for this gold mine, the research scrolls, the other gold mines, and maybe for the ancient ruin. I'm liking that. Although, again, maybe once... Oh, and look at this, though. There's this rocky outcropping here that's stopping us from embarking there. Jeez, you know, that's going to be tough because the lost souls that this thing produces are going to be able to hop right across that. But our units can't do it. We'd have to go all the way up here and embark from there just to get down there. Yikes. That's tricky. Okay. Let's see. I think this... Oh, did they... Oh, and look at that. They just captured it. Oh, that sucks. So we spent that gold for nothing. Oh, that's brutal. Well, I guess that was always a possibility. I didn't think they were going to attack it like that, but... Look at this. A skeleton guardian. And it has a sun shield. Yikes. That's pretty scary. Yeah, that's kind of a shame. I guess I wasted that gold, so... Not my smartest move, but I guess I at least did get some good points out of it. Not that that makes it worth it or anything, but... Alright. Yeah, so let's just start by taking on this. And you know what? We should probably get the Mammoth Rider into the stack here. Maybe swap out the Hordeman. It is nice, I guess, having him kind of be mobile, though. Anyway, the Tiger can probably come back to at least sit near the base. Thinking this Glade Runner perhaps needs to come back. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring back the Harpoon Thrower to try to guard the throne. Meanwhile, the Glade Runner can continue to scout for us here like this. Okay, so that's a dead end. This is good. We know where a lot of the coastline is. Alright, and our Mammoth Rider, yeah, can jump into the stack here, I think. Although, you know what? It's fine. We can attack from here. Alright, let's engage this battle. This will be a bit of a tough one. We've got some tricky units here to deal with, and they're going to be healing due to this recharging mana currents. So, let's see, just to remind myself, Plane-Touched Goblin will explode when it dies. Yeah, so that one we don't want to let it get close because it'll cause me a lot of grief if it does. Meanwhile, this Node Tribal here is going to throw some stones at me. What we'll move over, bring Falsor over with his Bestow Iron Heart, and we will heal the Mammoth Rider. And then we're going to let them get closer to us. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, great. Now we are in range where we can blast the Plane-Touched Goblin. Nice. There, that's... We really just want to try and get the kill on the Plane-Touched Goblin so that it doesn't explode in our midst. Yeah, perfect. Oh, shoot, we didn't get the kill. Alright, well, that's fine. We can at least do it with our hero here. Nice, okay, a little bit of damage to the Phantasm Warrior as well. That's not so bad. And between the Glavesman and the Hordeman, I think we can occupy the Warrior. Meanwhile, over here, we can deal with this Node Tribal. Only danger, of course, is that this Node Tribal is a Pikeman unit. And so that's going to be kind of tough for my Mammoth Rider. Maybe what I do here is I actually step over... can I get around behind? I can. Go like this. Yeah, there we go. Nice devastating charge. Oh, that's huge. And then step up and get the kill like this. Perfect. Okay, so then, like I said, let's get our Hordeman in there. And our Glavesman in there as well. Both in defense mode. Oh, and there's that recharging mana currents, as I mentioned. Ooh, ouch. My Hordeman took a beating. Thankfully, they're still alive, though. Okay, so now I think we should be able to get in there with our heroes here. Oh, yeah. Big damage here from the... Actually, yeah. I forgot. These Phantasm Warriors have kind of low resistance. So they're actually fairly susceptible to magic damage. So here we can do Blast. Oh, and a critical. That's great. And then you know what? Let's maybe step up with our hero and get the kill that way. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. Excellent. So there's that mana node cleared out. That improves our mana income, which is great, especially since we are now summoning cherubs who are going to be a drain on our mana income. Put the tiger there. And as I mentioned, we are bringing the harpoon thrower back. My main concern is really just going to be these lost souls that might come out of there. Now with this cherub, the question is, do I want to explore more down here or more of this island? Maybe a little bit of both. Let's see what else. Oh, and look at that, a gate to the Shadow Realm. Now I do see some refugees here we can grab, so let's maybe do that. It's going to expand the growth of our city here. That's pretty cool, though. Right on the corner, we've got a way into the Shadow Realm, so that's going to be helpful. We might be able to take advantage of this and actually expand into the Shadow Realm ourselves, rather than worrying about the, as I mentioned, a potential draconian takeover of the Shadow Realm. The only thing is we are going to have shadow weakness while we're in there, so we just have to keep that in mind. And then, yeah, we've already done our scouting. And our city's grown into a village now. That's great. So we have to choose our production next. Again, I'm in favor of the Siege Workshop just for the additional production. The Shrine wouldn't be bad to get some extra mana, though. We are going to start running kind of low, especially when we summon another one. The upkeep on them I don't think is too dramatic, though. Yeah, it's 9. So we can afford to do one more before we are going to start running into the red if we do another. So I'm thinking we do the Siege Workshop and then maybe the Shrine after that or something. But let's get the Siege Workshop going just to try and improve the production. Even though it's only going to be 10, that's not really going to make much of a difference. We're already over 50. Once the city grows, though, I'm thinking that maybe with that 10, we might get over 75. And then once we're over the 75 mark, that's a big deal. That said, you know what? Shrine might be better now. You know what? That's one to think about for next episode. Let me know what you guys think. What should I build next? My thought process here is that the Siege Workshop, that plus 10 wouldn't really help me now, but it might help me once the city grows. But the city's not going to grow for 10 turns. That said, I'm about to pick up some extra population from this refugee camp, which might accelerate that, because I'm thinking it's going to take 10 turns, so it might be then better to build a few other things that are not going to necessarily benefit from just an extra 10 production, but might benefit from the 10 plus the growth of the city into the next level. So anyway, let me know what you guys think on that one. I think this is a good place to leave it, so we will save it right here. We're going to call this one Frostling Theocrat number 1. Let's just zoom out and take a look at what we got here. So here you can see the map so far. We have our city, our throne city of Halls, and then you can see that we've got the cities belonging to our allies. Our warlord ally has captured Winter Blossom, but aside from that, not a lot going on just yet. We have done a pretty good job of exploring our initial starting area, though. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.